Namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudire nashtaprayeshu vadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttam shloke bhakti bhavati naistike. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, Chapter 9, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's travels to the holy places. Text 262 onwards. So previous verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was speaking with the Vaishnavas, Tattvavadi Vaishnavas at Udupi. So he asked them what's the best way to attain the goal of life. And they said Varnashram Dharma, following the Varnashram Dharma. But Mahaprabhu said no, Shravana Kirtan, or performing devotional service, of which Shravan Kirtan is the most important. Further speaking about Shravan Kirtan. Evam Vrita Swapiya Nama Kirtaya Jatanurago Druta Chittochan Asati Athorodati Roti Gayati Unmadavan Rityati Lokabhaya. When a person is actually advanced and takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord, who is very dear to him, he is agitated and loudly chants the holy names. He also laughs, cries, becomes agitated, and chants just like a madman, not caring for outsiders. So, this is when he attains real love for Krishna. Then he has come to the level of Bhav Bhakti. So this verse is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 2nd chapter, 40th verse. Karma ninda karma tyaga sarva shastra kahe, karma haite prema bhakti Krishna kabhu nahe. In every revealed scripture, there is condemnation of fruitive activities. It is advised everywhere to give up engagement in fruitive activities, for no one can attain the highest goal of life, love of Godhead, by executing them. In the Vedas, there are three kandas or divisions: Karma Kand, Jnana Kand, and Upasana Kand. The Karma Kand portion stresses the execution of fruitive activities, but ultimately it is advised that one abandon both Karma Kand and Jnana Kand, speculative knowledge, and accept only Upasana Kand or Bhakti Kand. One cannot attain love of Godhead by executing Karma Kand or Jnana Kand, but by dedicating one's karma or fruitive activities to the Supreme Lord, one may be relieved from the polluted mind, and becoming free from mental pollution helps one elevate to the spiritual platform. So, by dedicating one's karma, so fruitive activities to the Supreme Lord, then that actually becomes karma yoga. Otherwise, we are performing just karmic activities. Then, however, one needs the association of a pure devotee. For only by a pure devotee's association can one become a pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. When one comes to the stage of pure devotional service, the process of Shravanam Kirtanam is very essential. By executing the 9 items of devotional service, beginning with Shravanam Kirtanam, one is completely purified. Anya Bhilashita Shunyam. So process of Shravan Kirtanam, it just, when somebody is engaged in that and then performing his activities or duties, slowly, because his consciousness is getting purified, his activities become from karma, kanda to karma, yoga to bhakti, because his consciousness is improving. Sorry. So, anya abhilashita shunya, that's According to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that's a definition of bhakti. Only then is one able to execute Krishna's orders in the Bhagavad Gita when he says, either man mana bandvaktu or sarvadharman parityaja. Krishna says, always think of me, become my devotee, worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you're my very dear friend. So abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So in this way, one develops his original constitutional position of rendering loving service to the Lord. And that starts with Shravanam Kirtanam. And not just starts with it goes on. Shravanam Kirtanam goes on. And then it goes on in a very, very pure way. In the beginning, our Shravanam Kirtanam is not that pure. It has lots of issues, I can say, issues. But slowly, 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 if we continue doing that, starts becoming pure. One cannot be elevated to the highest platform of devotion service by karma kand or jnana kand. Pure devotion service can be understood and attained only through the association of pure devotees. In this regard, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur states that there are two types of karma kand activities, pious and impious. Pious activities are certainly better than impious activities, but even pious activities cannot bring about ecstatic love of God, Krishna. Pious and impious activities can bring about material happiness and distress, but there is no possibility of one's becoming a pure devotee simply by acting piously or impiously. Bhakti or devotion service means satisfying Krishna. But that is, of course, Prabhupada mentioned that in one line. But it's difficult to understand what will satisfy Krishna. Because if somebody is performing punya karam, he's saying, I'm helping humankind, I'm serving them. Isn't that satisfying Krishna? They are all Krishna's creation. That's a very typical example of people who want to do pious activity. It is good to do pious activity. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's not the best. Why? If this would satisfy Krishna, then Krishna would have said that in Bhagavad Gita. To do pious activities. Why he said, Man manabdo madhvakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. So, if he said that, then we have to follow his instruction. That is surrender. The real pious activity to help people. Yes, we want to help people. Nobody says don't help people. But one should learn how to help people spiritually. Feeding them, good, nothing wrong. But feeding them prashadam is the best because that is devotion service. So that satisfies Krishna. Why? It satisfies Krishna because then he sees the person who is helping is also getting eligible to come back to the spiritual world, and the person who is getting helped is also getting eligible to come back to the spiritual world. That is what satisfies Krishna, because he doesn't want us to be here, remain here, stuck here, and go through all these issues of life, birth, old age, disease, death, adidevik, adibhautik, adhyatmik klesh. He doesn't want to see us going through that again and again. Whether we are by performing pious activities, we can be born in heavenly planet or in this on earthly planet in a very highly aristocratic family or very intelligent or very good looking, very rich. It could be any of these. But still, we have to go through birth, old age, disease, death, adibhautik, adhyatmic, adidavik klesha, and no chance of getting out of this. And this is not what Krishna wants. Because he has completely clearly said that in Gita. Otherwise, why would he say, Janma karam chame divyam evam yaveti tatvata tyakta deham punarjanma neti mahameti suharjan. Again and again, by doing this, you'll come back to me. Do this, you will come back to me. Sarvadharman paritaja. I'll take care of you. Manmana mad bhakto. You do that and you'll come back to me. Why saying again and again? Because this is what he wants us to go back to him. Where we really belong, actually belong. We don't belong here. But just by pious activities, one cannot go back. Not by karmakand and not by jnana, only by bhakti. In every revealed scripture, whether stressing jnanakand or karmakand, the principle of renunciation is always praised. The ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge, Srimad Bhagavatam, is the supreme Vedic evidence. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Nash karmyam api achyut bhava varjitam. Knowledge of self-realization, even though freed from all material affinity, does not look well if devoid of a conception of the infallible God. What then is the use of fruitive activities, which are naturally painful from the very beginning and transient by nature, if they are not utilized for the devotional service of the Lord? This means that even knowledge which is superior to fruitive activity is not successful if it is devoid of devotional service. Therefore, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the beginning, middle, and end, Karmakand and Jnanakand are condemned. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita only it is said, Karmakand, Jnanakand, Keval Vishera Bhand. Vishera Bhand means it is thought of poison. Means one should not even take a drop of it. Only bhakti. And bhakti is only very, it is made very simple by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just chant and dance. Just that's it. Agyavam gunan doshan maya dishtan api swakan dharman santyajya yah sarvan mam bhaje sacha sattama. Occupational duties are described in the religious scriptures. If one analyzes them, he can fully understand their qualities and faults and then give them up completely to render service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A person who does so is considered a first-class man. So occupational duties means dharma. But what is the real dharma? Just surrender unto the Supreme Lord. And this is what Krishna also says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Dhavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata mat katha shravanado va shraddha yavan na jayate. As long as one is not satiated by fruitive activity and has not awakened his taste for devotional service by Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, one has to act according to the regulative principles of the Vedic injunctions. So awakened his taste for devotional service. Means if until one has come to the level of bhav bhakti or ruchi, one has to act according to the regulative principle. But that regulative principle doesn't mean one who has developed ruchi, he doesn't follow. He follows, but it becomes his nature. It doesn't go beyond that. पंचविधा मुक्ति त्याग करे भक्त गणा फलगु करे mukti dekhe narake rasam. Pure devotees reject the 5 kinds of liberation. Indeed, for them, liberation is very insignificant because they see it as hellish. But they don't want to get liberated either. They just want service. Salokya sarshi samipya sarupyam ekatvam apiyuta. Dehamanam na grinanti vinamata sevanam jana. Pure devotees always reject the 5 kinds of liberation, which include living in the spiritual Vaikuntha planets, possessing the same opulences as those possessed by the Supreme Lord, having the same bodily features as the Lord's, associating with the Lord, and merging into the body of the Lord. The pure devotees do not accept these benedictions without the service of the Lord. So they just want service, devotional service. Yo dustejan kshiti sutta sujanartha dana. Prarthayam shriyam suravare sada vyalokam. Nacham nirpastad uchitam mahatam madhudvit. Sevanurakta manasam abhavo api falgo. It is very difficult to give up material opulence, land, children, society, friends, riches, wives, or the blessings of the goddess of fortune, which are desired even by great demigods. But King Bharat did not desire such things, and this was quite befitting his position. Because for a pure devotee whose mind is always engaged in the service of the Lord, even liberation or merging into the existence of the Lord is insignificant. And what to speak of material opportunities. So all he wants is service. That's all he cares for. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam concerning the glorification of King Bharat, whom Shukdev Goswami was describing to King Parikshit. Narayana para sarve na kutashan bibhyati swarga pavarga narkeshwar apitulyartha darshana. A person who is a devotee of Lord Narayan is not afraid of a hellish condition because he considers it the same as elevation to the heavenly planets or liberation. The devotees of Lord Narayan are accustomed to seeing all these things on the same level. So they're not afraid of even a hellish condition. Because wherever they see Lord Narayan, they'll see Krishna, they're serving. So even if they are in hell or heaven, hardly matters. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam regarding the personality Chitraketu. Once when Chitraketu saw the goddess Parvati sitting on the lap of Lord Shambhu, Shiva, he criticized Lord Shiva for being shameless and sitting just like an ordinary man with his wife on his lap. For this reason, Chitraketu was cursed by Parvati. Later, he became a demon named Vritrasura. Chitraketu was a very powerful king and a devotee, and he could certainly retaliate even against Lord Shiva. But when Parvati cursed him, he immediately accepted the curse with a bowed head. When he agreed to accept this curse, Lord Shiva praised him and told Parvati that a devotee of Lord Narayan is never afraid of accepting any position provided there is a chance to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the purport of Narayan Para Sarve Nakutashan Vidyati. So, how did Chitraketu get the chance to serve the Lord and his devotees? By becoming a demon. Vritrasura, such a big demon. So, how he got a chance was in his fight against Indra. Indra was releasing all the weapons and Chitraketu was just neutralizing those weapons. No big deal. So finally, even Indra was uh, demoralized. And Chitraketu motivated him to fight in the battlefield. He said, kill me. So Indra finally released his weapon, and it took the weapon 1 year to go around Chitraketu to cut his neck off, to go around. That was how big he was. So how it glorified Indra and the Lord is, first, Chitraketu was not afraid of death, and he inspired Indra, motivated him to kill Chitraketu himself. And he said, by dying like this, I'll go back to the spiritual world. So this is how he glorified the Lord and his devotee and the devotion service. So even though he was in the form of a demon, and a huge, big demon, Vritrasura, but he ended up glorifying the Lord and devotional service. And this is why Lord Shiva said, devotee is never afraid of even becoming an asura. I don't mind, as long as there is a chance to serve the Supreme. And so many devotees have served the Lord while accepting an apparent negative position. Lord Shiva does it all the time. He sometimes he sides. He takes a side of against the Lord, and he sides with the demons. In the end, the demons get killed. The asuras that get killed, and the Lord is praised and he is glorified. But Lord Shiva does that all the time. And even many other devotees. Bhishma Dev, Bhishma Dev, he's a Mahajan. And he took the side against the Lord and his devotee, pure devotee Arjun. And Bhishma Dev took the side against in the battlefield. And he made Krishna break his vow to protect Arjun. Is that a sign of a Mahajan? Well, so we have to understand the scriptures to say yes. He was a great devotee. Krishna broke his vow that I'm not going to pick up a weapon. And Bhishma Dev, if he had said, either you break your vow or I'm going to kill Arjun. So Krishna, to protect Arjun, to protect Bhishma Dev's vow, he broke his vow. But in the process, Krishna is glorified as Bhaktavatsal. Whatever Krishna does, and ultimately it's for his glorification. But this is how devotees want to serve the Lord. Ultimately, he is glorified, and the Lord wants to glorify his devotees. This is the law. So that is why devotion service is very, very exalted. Lord never wants to glorify karma kandis or jnana kandis. No, he never does. Only his devotees. Whether we just studied about that Brahman in Sri Rangam, he said, I'm illiterate. I cannot pronounce the shlokas of Gita properly. And that's why all these Brahmins, they're making fun of. But all I see is whenever I open Bhagavad Gita, that how the Lord is sitting as a charioteer of his own devotee. That's all I see. And Mahaprabhu said, you have understood the essence of Bhagavad Gita. So that's why Mahaprabhu is glorifying devotional service here. Mukti karma dui vastu tyaje bhakta gana sei dui sthapatumi sadhya sadhan. Both liberation and fruitive activity are rejected by devotees. We are trying to establish these things as life's goal and the process for attaining it. Sannyasi dekiya more kara havancham naka hila tehi sadhya sadhana laksham. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued speaking to the Tattvavadi Acharya. Seeing that I am a mendicant in the renounced order of life, you have been playing with me in a duplicitous way. You have not actually described the process and ultimate objective. Shuni Tattvacharya Haila Antarela Jita Prabhur Vaishnavata Dekhi Haila Vismita. After hearing Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Acharya of the Tattvavad Sampradaya became very much ashamed. Upon observing Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's right faith in Vaishnavism, he was struck with wonder. Acharya kahe tumi yai kaha sei satya hai sarva shastre Vaishnavera ehi sunishchaya. Tattvavadi Acharya replied, what you have said is certainly factual. It's a conclusion of all the revealed scriptures of the Vaishnavas. Tathapi madhvacharya je kariyache nirbandha sei acharya sabhe sampradaya sambandha. Still, whatever Madhvacharya has established as a formula for our party, we practice as a party policy. Prabhu kahe karmi gyan dui bhakti hi na tomara sampradaya dekhi se dui chena. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, both the fruitive worker and the speculative philosopher are considered non-devotees. We see both elements present in your sampradaya. सबे एक गुण देखी तुम्हार संप्रदाय सत्य विग्रह करी ईश्वरे करह निश्चय. The only qualification that I see in your sampradaya is that you accept the form of the Lord as truth. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to point out to the Tattvavadi Acharya who belong to the Madhvacharya Sampradaya that the general behavior of the Tattvavadis did not favor pure devotional service, which must be devoid of the taints of fruitive activity and speculative knowledge. As far as fruitive activity is concerned, the contamination is a desire for elevation to a higher standard of life. And for speculative knowledge, the contamination is a desire to merge into the existence of the absolute truth. The Tattvavad Sampradaya of the Madhvacharya school sticks to the principle of Varnashram Dharma, which involves fruitive activity. The ultimate goal, mukti, is simply a form of material desire. A pure devotee should be free from all kinds of material desires. He simply engages in the service of the Lord. Nonetheless, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was pleased that the Madhvacharya Sampradaya or the Tattvavad Sampradaya accepted the transcendental form of the Lord. This is the great qualification of the Vaishnava Sampradayas. It's a Mayavad Sampradaya that does not accept the transcendental form of the Lord. If a Vaishnava Sampradaya is also carried away by that impersonal attitude, that Sampradaya has no position at all. It's a fact that there are so many so-called Vaishnavas whose ultimate aim is to merge into the existence of the Lord. For example, the Sahajiya's Vaishnava philosophy is to become one with the Supreme. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu points out that Shri Madhvendra Puri accepted Madhvacharya only because his Sampradaya accepted the transcendental form of the Lord. So they accepted the transcendental form of the Lord, that yes, that's the Lord, the Lord's form is transcendental. It's not Mayavad, it's not made of material elements. It is transcendental. Ei mata tare ghare garva churna kari falgu tirthe tave chali aila gaur hari. Thus Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu broke the pride of the Tattvavadis to pieces. He then went to the holy place known as Falgu Tirtha. Tritakupe Vishalara Kari Darshana Panchaspara Tirthe Aila Shachira Nandana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Mother Shachi, next went to Tritakupa, and after seeing the Vishala deity there, he went to the holy place known as Panchapsara Tirtha. The Apsaras, denizens of the heavenly planets, are generally known as dancing girls. The girls in the heavenly planets are exquisitely beautiful, and if a woman on earth is found to be very beautiful, she is compared to the Apsaras. There are 5 Apsaras named Lata, Budbuddha, Shamichi, Saurabhi, and Varana. It is said that these 5 beautiful dancing girls were sent by Indra to break the severe austerity of a saintly person called Achyuta Rishi. This action was typical of Indra, the king of heaven. Whenever Indra discovered someone undergoing severe austerities, he would begin to fear for his post. Indra was always anxious about his position, fearing that if someone became more powerful than he was, he would lose his elevated position. Thus, as soon as he would see a saint undergoing severe austerities, he would send dancing girls to distract him. Even the great saint Vishwamitra Muni fell victim to his plan. So when the 5 Apsaras went to break Achyut Rishi's meditation, they were all chastised and cursed by the saint. As a result, the girls turned into crocodiles in a lake that came to be known as Pancha Apsara. Lord Ramchandra also visited this place. From Shri Narad Muni's narration, it is understood that when Arjun went to visit the holy places, he learned about the condemnation of the 5 Apsaras. He delivered them from their abominable condition, and from that day, the lake known as Panch Apsara became a place of pilgrimage. So Arjun also went to visit the holy places, and I guess he was collecting all the divine weapons. So looks like he also came here and he delivered these apsaras. Gokarne Shiva dekhi aila dvepayini sur parak tirthe aila nyasi shiromani. After seeing Panchapsara, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Gokar. While there, he visited the temple of Lord Shiva, and then he went to Dvapayini. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the crown jewel of all sannyasis, then went to Surparak Tirtha. So Gokarna is situated in North Kannada, in the Karnataka state. North Karnataka, in the Karnataka state, okay. It is about 30 miles southwest of Karwar. This place is very famous for the temple of Lord Shiva, known as Mahabaleshwar. Hundreds and thousands of pilgrims come to see this temple. Surparak is about 26 miles north of Bombay. In the Maharashtra province near Bombay is a district known as Thana and a place known as Sopara. Surparak is mentioned in Mahabharata. Okay. So in Thana district, Mahaprabhu went. कोल्हापुरे लक्ष्मी देखी देखेन क्षीर भगवती लांग गणेश देखी देखेन चोर पार्वती. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then visited the town of Kolhapur, where he saw the goddess of fortune in the temple of Kshir Bhagwati, and saw Lang Ganesh in another temple known as Chor Parvati. Kolhapur is a town in Maharashtra province, formerly known as Bombay Pradesh. Formerly, Kolhapur was a native state, and it is bordered on the north by the district of Santar, on the east and south by the district of Belagaum, and on the west by the district of Ratnagiri. In Kolpara, there is a river named Urna, and from the Bombay Gazette, it is understood that there are about 250 temples there, out of which 6 are very famous. So these are Amba Bavi or Mahalakshmi Mandir, second Vithova Mandir, then third is Temblai Mandir, Fourth is Mahakali Mandir. Fifth is Firangai or Pratyangira Mandir. And sixth is Yalamma Mandir. तथा हैते पांडरपुर है आइला गौर चंद्र विठल ठाकुर देखी पाइला आनंद. From there, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Pandharpur, where he happily saw the temple of Vitthal Thakur. The city of Pandharpur is situated on the river Bhima. It is said that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu initiated Tukaram when he visited Pandharpur, and thus Tukaram became his disciple. So, Tukaram Maharaj or Tukaram Acharya, very, very popular personality in Maharashtra. And his abhang or his bhajans, they're very popular. And he also, it is said Mahaprabhu initiated Tukaram. So after the initiation, he also took up this singing and dancing and chanting. That's it. Tukaram Acharya became very famous in the Maharashtra province, and he spread the Sankirtan movement all over the province. The Sankirtan party belonging to Tukaram is still very popular in Bombay and throughout the province of Maharashtra. Tukaram's writings are known as Abhangs. His Sankirtan party exactly resembles the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sankirtan parties, for they chant the holy name of the Lord with Mridanga and Kartals. The Lord Vitthal Dev mentioned in this verse is form of Lord Vishnu with two hands. He is Narayan. प्रेमावेश कैला बहुत कीर्तन नर्तन तहा एक विप्र तारे कैला निमंत्रण. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted and danced in various ways as usual. A Brahman, seeing him in ecstatic love, was very pleased and invited the Lord to his home for lunch. बहुत आदरे प्रभु के भिक्षा कराइला भिक्षा करी तथा एक शुभ वार्ता पाइला. The Brahman offered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu food with great respect and love. After finishing his lunch, the Lord received auspicious news. So what was the news? That Madhapurir Shishya Shri Rangapurina Sai Grame Vipragrahe Karena Visham. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu received word that Shri Rangapuri, one of the disciples of Shri Madhvendra Puri, was present in that village at the home of a Brahmin. Madhya Lila Prabhu Tare Dekhi Bahare Vipra Grihe Vasi Chachen Dekhila Tahare. Hearing this news, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately went to see Sri Rangapuri at the Brahman's house. Upon entering, the Lord saw him sitting there. Prema Vesha Kare Tare Danda Pranama Ashrupulak Kamba Sarvange Padigham. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Sri Rangapuri, he immediately offered him obeisances in ecstatic love, falling flat on the ground. The symptoms of transcendental transformation were visible, namely tears, jubilation, trembling, and perspiration. Dekhiya Vismita Haila Shri Rangapuri Ranmana Uttha Shripad Bali Balila Vachana. Upon seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in such an ecstatic mood, Sri Rangapuri said, Your Holiness, please get up. Shripad Dhar Mora Gosaira Sambandha Taha Vina Nyatra Nahi Prema Ragandha. Your Holiness is certainly related to Sri Madhvendra Puri, without whom there is no fragrance of ecstatic love. Well, it's a little long purpose. I think I'll take it up tomorrow. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisance. Prabhuji, I have two questions. One is like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also going different places, visiting different places. So as a devotee, aspiring devotee, we should also long for visiting all the places, right? Or we should think that no, at home only we can make ourselves dham. We have to make our home, our heart as a dham. So it's good to make our home or our heart as a dham, but we should also aspire to visit these places, right? It will not be our sense gratification if we want to visit these places, right?
Well, yes, we should visit these places and all other places also. There's so many dhams, but the mood should be of service when we go to these places.
Yeah.
That should be the mood.
Yes.
But at the same time, yes, whatever responsibilities are at home and whatever, that also we should take care of. So, but these places when we go to, I mean, we should get our batteries charged up by going there.
Yes, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, second question is like, here we see that if all the devotees who meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu meet all the devotees, they have so much, affection, so much, they respect for each other. How to develop this feeling, Prabhuji?
Because, see, our mentality, our consciousness is to, we try to find faults, or we try to see how I am better than others. That is our problem. Instead of seeing how others are doing so wonderful services, performing so many services, and trying to see good in them, we end up seeing the faults. Mahaprabhu didn't see the faults, even though see he is meeting Tattvavadis, but he is Supreme Lord and he is giving them instructions. He's not saying you're wrong and I'm not going to associate with you and this and that. But this is our mentality and we need to work on it.
Prabhuji, lot of purification. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we all need that.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for this
Thank you.
enlightenment.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Mata.
Please accept my obeisance.
Hare Krishna. You all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri.
Hare Krishna.